Hi Cancer, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your mid-November 2022 love reading. Thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the bridging the gap spread, and the way it works is we look at the past energies, present energies, and future energies between you and your main love interest. And once we get through all that, we'll pull some oracle cards as well for some additional insight. That's where the bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, on the right side we have the Romantic Tarot. And also keep in mind it's a general reading, so while I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as the other person's, if you feel like it's the other way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have the Princess of Staves. So this is actually the equivalent of the Page of Wands, which is a fire energy. And if we look at the body language there, obviously we see they're riding away from the cards on that side. But if we look at her facial expression, it looks like she's looking over her shoulder a little bit. So to me, this says that you might have felt a lot of intense passion toward this person, but for whatever reason, that also might have scared you, right? To where you weren't necessarily comfortable staying in the connection at the time. So, and it could just be saying as well that you might have moved away from the connection, hoping that they would show some effort to get you back in. So that's what I see with that. All right, and past energy on their side, we have the Two of Cups, which is actually a Cancer energy, and the Sun, which is Leo energy. So seeing these two things here, it could actually just be saying that you might have been surprised by the level of intensity of their feelings. So it might not have been necessarily that you were moving away hoping that they would come after you, but more that you weren't expecting the level of intensity of the feelings between the two of you. That's what I'm seeing with that. All right, present energy on your side, we have the Eight of Cups. So usually the Eight of Cups represents moving away from something. I'm looking for something more fulfilling, but with this context, it always stands out to me that the artwork looks like it really could be interpreted either way, right? Like she's about to leave or she already did leave and is on her way back. So it's kind of what I feel there, right? Where it could just be one of those things where now you might want to actually come back and revisit the connection after taking some time to gather yourself around the intensity of the connection. All right, present energy on their side, we have the Empress. So to me, this says that now they're still open and receptive toward the connection, most likely, but at the same time, I feel like they're probably not going to make an advance toward you again, right? So they might view it as, okay, well, I tried to be open and express myself with Cancer in the past, right? It didn't seem to go over well, so the feelings might still be there, but they might view it as, okay, well, the ball's in Cancer's court now because when I made the approach and the advance, it didn't seem to go well. All right, future energy on your side, we have the Two of Arrows. So this is a Libra energy here. And it could just be saying that you might be feeling a little bit torn, right? Like still not sure which way to go. Do you want to pursue the connection with them or do you want to just leave it as is? And with the symbolism here, it could just be saying that you might actually get some guidance around which way you should go with the connection within your dreams, right? Or maybe just intuitively, or maybe you'll start to see signs and synchronicities as you're out and about. So definitely be on the lookout for that. All right, and future energy on their side, we have Temperance. So this is actually Sagittarius energy here. So yeah, it could just be one of those things where you want to strike a balance between the two of you, and it could just be saying that maybe they do come across a bit more intense than intended sometimes, right? So if we look at the artwork there, it looks like she's pouring into that cup and it's spilling over, right? So it could just be one of those things where they might realize that, okay, maybe in the past the approach I took toward Cancer was a little bit too intense, right? So they could just be trying to rein it in a little bit, but still staying authentic at the same time. So that could be the balance that you're trying to strike now, or will be in the future, I should say. All right, bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Princess of Coins. So this is the equivalent of the Page of Pentacles. And to see this come up here could just be saying that for some of you, you might have that desire to turn it into a stable commitment, but maybe you might feel like that could be where the confusion was, right? Like you might have felt like is it only passion that this person is after, right? Or are they actually interested in something more? So that could be one of those things where you might have started to lose faith that they actually wanted to pursue something more than that with you. All right, and bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Two of Pentacles. So if we look at the artwork there, we see the two kids, right? And this one looks like they're fighting away the emotion, the display of emotions from that person. So that could be what it is, right? Where they're trying to figure out what that balance is, right? Like, okay, I come on too strong sometimes, right? And that doesn't seem to work well. So they, again, I feel like this is another indicator of them trying to find that balance with the connection. All right, moving on to the Oracle cards. First, we'll see what we get from the Moonlight deck here. I did pre-shuffle this deck before we started recording. What I'm looking for here is unspoken messages from each of them, and then from them to you. Initially looking for jumpers, but if I shuffle for a while without anything coming up, I'll just put the deck down and we'll pull cards that way. So we'll see what we get. Almost have one there. All right, so nothing's coming up. So what I'll do is just put the deck down and just give me a few seconds and we'll tune in and pick a card. All right, we'll take this one. And next we'll see what comes up from them to you. And that doesn't want to go back in the deck, so we'll see what came up on your side first. Okay, we have sorry. There we go. It says, please accept my apologies so we can move past this. Interesting. So yeah, this could be an indicator that you guys possibly did leave the connection behind. Where, like I said, I don't feel, for the majority of you, I don't think it was like a intentional thing trying to get them to chase after you. Like I said, that could be the case for some of you, but like I said, it could have been more the intensity of the feelings kind of took you back a little bit, so you might have created some distance at that point. So that could just represent that energy where, okay, you might decide down the line that, all right, I do want to give it a shot, right? So you could try to make the apology there. And then on their side, we have first, it says, you are the one, the only one. So yeah, for some of you might have quite a history too, then seeing that there. I don't necessarily feel like it's like truly a first love thing necessarily, but maybe the intensity took them back a little bit too, right? But they just weren't necessarily trying to run from the connection at the time. They might have been trying to put in the effort. So that could be why we're seeing them fumbling a little bit, right? Like, okay, was that coming on too strong? What's the right level of intensity to show, right? So that could be where the back and forth is coming from there. All right. And lastly, we'll pull a card from Wisdom of the Oracle. Same situation as far as I shuffled this deck as well, but here we're going to be looking for just a single card to wrap up the reading with. And that doesn't want to go back in the deck, so let's see what you got. Okay, we have Thinker. There's the artwork, and the number is 44. So let's see what that has to say. Okay, the relationship message says love is not logical, but when you choose a partner, it is good to have things in common other than desire. This is a time to weigh the pros and cons of your partnership. If there is enough common ground, go for it. If not, there are other fish in the sea. Don't force it to work. And should others tell you who they are, take them at their word. Now is not the time to indulge in a fantasy. No matter what, in this case, the facts are the facts. So interesting there, especially the part where it says, it is good to have things in common other than desire, right? So we definitely talked about the desire and the intensity in the past. So maybe that was why you might have pulled away, right? To figure out, like I was saying, for some of you might have been thinking, okay, well, is that just passion they want, or are they looking for something more, right? And I mean, I will say, that's the case. It looks like the only way to truly find that out would be to talk things through and see if you do have more things in common. But like I said, it does look like their feelings are genuine, but they're just more trying to figure out, okay, how do I navigate expressing these feelings without overwhelming cancer, right? So hopefully that resonated for you guys. To wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.